Hi class, this is Stacy Nelson and I'm going to be your instructor this semester for BUSN 121. I wanted to just introduce myself real quickly and also give you a short tutorial on the tools that we will be using within Laulima, and also give you a short instruction on how to get logged into GDP, which is the software program that we'll use to do our keyboarding. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you want to do is you want to come to the Kauai Community College webpage, which is kauai.hawaii.edu. And when you get to the home page for Kauai Community College, and you look at those cookies they just have up there, you want to come up to the upper right-hand corner of your screen, and you'll see a tab for Laulima, and you want to go ahead and just click on that. Okay, so that's going to open up the Laulima home screen, and what you want to do here is you might want to read some of the information that they have here. They have updates and announcements. If you have never used Laulima before, you probably want to come here and take a look at this Laulima orientation video. Okay, because we use Laulima, we're going to use Laulima extensively in this course, and you probably will as well in other courses that you might take that are distance learning courses. Okay, so after you've read any information, any announcements here, and taken a look at the video if you needed to, then you can just come up here to the upper right-hand corner again, and you enter your user ID, which is your UH user ID, and your UH password, and then you simply click on Login. When you get logged in, you will come to your main page, and what it will have is the different tabs for the classes that you are taking this semester. Now, if you don't see a tab up here for a class that you're looking for, then you can come over here to My Active Sites and click on the drop-down arrow, and then you should be able to select what class you are looking for. Okay, but we're looking for BUSN 121 for Fall 14. So when you click on that, when you click on the BUSN 121 for Fall 14, you come to the class homepage, which right now there really isn't anything on it except for the title of the course. If I had just added any messages or any announcements, they would show up over here under recent announcements, or if I or anybody else in the class had posted any chats, they would show up down here. Okay, so over here on the left-hand side of the screen, you see that we have several different tabs, and these are the different tools that we're going to be using throughout the semester. So the first tab is Syllabus. If I click on that, it's going to open up the course syllabus. Okay, and so this has a description of the course, our student learning outcomes, your text materials that you'll need, other resources that you might need since this is an online course. Okay, and then it gets into the grading, the content, what we're going to be working on, and then the grading criteria. And then it talks about a little bit more about each component of the grading criteria. And I apologize for the formatting of the syllabus, but when you post it here in Laulima, it loses its original formatting. So if you look at this as a Word document or as a PDF, the formatting is correct, but it looks a little bit goofy here. So anyway, the content is still the same. It's just not, it just doesn't look as pretty. Okay, so what I would like you to do is I would like you to take a look at the syllabus and read through it and really pay attention to it, because it does discuss, like I said, the different tests. It discusses the 3-minute timed writings that we'll have, and it discusses our assignments. Okay, you'll notice that in the tests there are two types. There are objective tests and production tests, and they have to be taken by the scheduled date. Makeup tests are not allowed. Okay, that's on the objective test and the production test. Okay, and then all assignments are due on their due date. Okay, and only assignments that have 3 or less errors will be considered in your grading. Okay, so I want to make sure that you read through the syllabus and that you fully understand it. especially the portion on absences. Even though this is an online class, I do want to make sure that you are participating and that you're participating in a timely manner. Okay, so read through this and make sure that you understand it and agree to it. If you would like a PDF copy of the syllabus to print out, I have it attached here, so you can just click on this link and it will open it up. Okay, so read through this when you have a chance. And then the second tab that we're going to look at are resources. And in resources, what I'll have here is information that might help you throughout the course, and we'll have backup information on the assignments. Okay, I have in here the course calendar, and so this will show on a weekly basis the different homework within your textbook that you're going to have to complete. I have some PowerPoints for the class if you want to take a look at them in addition to reading the textbook. I have a Word document that is essentially going over what I'm talking about right now. It's just the different tools within Laulima that we're going to be using. And then I also have a link right here to the GDP software. And in addition, I'll add to this throughout the semester, and this video will be included in resources as well as other videos that I produce throughout the semester. Okay, so then next we're going to move on to announcements. And announcements I will use when I want to send a broadcast to the entire class. And I also send this on a weekly basis when a new assignment is to be started. Okay, so if you can see what I already have here, and it's grayed out right now because they do not open until the 25th when the course starts. Okay, so I have one announcement that you'll get at the first thing in the morning on August 25th, which is a welcome. And then you'll see that there are some announcements that say, okay, we have an open date of August 25th for the first week, and then we have another assignment for the second week. Okay, so far these are the only announcements that I have here, but this is where you will go to see any announcements that I might have created. I'd also try to send out an accompanying email with my announcements so that you'll know that one has been posted and that you can come in here and take a look at it. The next tab is assignments, and this is where you'll go to find out what your weekly assignments are. Okay, and so far I have 3 different assignments posted. So I have an initial one, which is a pre-test, and then I have your homework for the week of 8/25 to 8/31, and then I also have the homework posted for the week of 9/1 to 9/7. Okay, if I go into one of these to take a look at what the assignment looks like, it's going to tell me the open date of the assignment, which is August 25th at 8:00 a.m. And then the assignment is due on September 1st at 11:55 p.m. or essentially midnight. So you have an entire week to work on your assignment for the week. So it opens up Monday morning at 8 o'clock and closes on Sunday night at midnight. Okay, I leave the assignment open for a couple of weeks, so if you don't get it done by the due date, you still have the opportunity to work on it. However, you will not get full credit for it if it is submitted after the original due date. Okay, the next thing, it will also have the points that are available for this homework assignment, which is essentially 1 point per lesson that you complete within your textbook. And then I will have a list of instructions what you need to do for the entire week. Okay, so in this example, you have to read and study the introduction to the student in your textbook. Here you review the reference manual in your textbook. Then it says to complete all exercises in lessons 1, 2, and 3. And then you need to go to the discussions and private messages tab in Laulima to participate in the weekly discussion. Okay, so there will be an assignment for each week of the class, and I'm going to leave all of the assignments starting as of September 1st Okay, other than the first week, all the assignments still have a begin date of 9/1, and so you can work ahead if you want. So, for example, if you're just blasting through, if you already are a good typist and a quick typist, you might get through the first part of the class rather quickly, and so you'll have the opportunity to work ahead if you like. Okay, but just remember that the due date is the due date, and so please try to get all of your work done by the date due, otherwise you will lose points. All right, so the next tab we're going to look at is discussion and private messages. And this is where you can get grades for your participation that I have listed in the syllabus. So here on a weekly basis, when you come in here, I will have the week that we're currently working on. So this would be the week of 8/25. If I click on it and I come in here and I see introductions, so this week it's simply an introduction. I'm introducing myself and you'll have a chance to introduce yourself. But in future weeks, it will be a question regarding something that we've worked on in the text that week. Okay, so I will ask you a question about how you thought something went, or if you had any difficulty with something, and you can either answer my discussion directly or my question directly, or you'll see a whole chain of all of the discussions, so what everybody else has posted, and so then you can either respond to me or you can respond to one of your classmates. Okay, so to get back out of here, I can just come up here to where it says discussion and private messages and click on the arrows, and it brings me back to the main listing. We also have a chat room. So if you just have a quick question for me or any of the classmates, then you can post a message here, and hopefully you'll have a response rather quickly by anybody else who might be logged in at the time. So it's real easy. You just come into this chat area and you type a message and click add message, and then it shows up here and it identifies who typed it, when it was typed, and what the message is. Next, there is a mail tool within Laulima, and I suggest that you normally use your UH email, but if you're already in Laulima and you're thinking of something, you want to get it sent out real quick, then you can go ahead and use this mail tool. It's not quite as flexible as UH mail, but it does get the job done. So like I said, if you're already in Laulima and you just want to send out a quick message to somebody, to myself or one of your fellow students, this is a good place to do it. And then finally, we're going to also use the grade book. So I will post your grades within the grade book. Now yours is going to look a little bit different than what I have here because you're the student and I'm the instructor. But anyway, you will have access to viewing all of your grades as I post them. Okay, and I will post your grades for your weekly assignments on a weekly basis, so you can kind of keep a running track of how you're doing within the class. All right, I think that covers it for Laulima. Hopefully everybody understands what I went through, and don't forget that within resources I do have a Word document that kind of covers the same thing that I just went over. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to move to GDP, which is the software that we will use to do all of our keyboarding and produce our word processing documents. This is the GDP home screen. The address or the URL for GDP is kawaii.cc.gdp11.com. And if you'll remember, in Laulima under resources, I also have the link to this home page posted there as well, in case you forget that. It's also printed in the syllabus if you don't see it in resources, or if you don't have a chance to go to resources. So there are multiple locations where you can find the link to GDP. So I would recommend that you create a bookmark for that on your computer so that you can just click on it and come straight here. After you complete your pre-test and assignments, then I will go ahead and set you up in the system, in the GDP system. And when I do that, you will be emailed a username and password for this system. Now that email is going to go to your UH email, but it's not going to come from me directly, it's going to come from GDP. So make sure that you look for that in your inbox. And your username will most likely be your UH username, but your password will be different than what it is for your UH systems. And so all you need to do when you get here to the home page is you want to enter your username and your password that I send to you, or that GDP sends to you. And then when you click on sign in, it's going to ask you for your registration code. And so you'll need to go ahead and enter that. You'll find the registration code on that card that came in your packet when you purchased your book. And it's a pretty long number, so make sure, be careful when you're typing it in to make sure you get everything correct. Now, if you purchased your book separately, or I'm sorry, if you purchased a used book and you don't have a registration code with it, you can go online and you can buy just the registration code. And it accepts these different types of payments. I believe last year I think it was $79 or something like that for the access code, but I'm not sure what it is this year. Okay, I do have another video that will talk about how to use GDP in more detail, but I didn't want this video to get way too long, so I broke them up into two. So after you have a chance to get your username and password and you get your registration code entered, then go ahead and watch the second video and it will walk you through how to get started in GDP. All right, well, thank you very much, and I hope we have a great semester. I'll be talking to you soon.